In this video, we will demonstrate a maximum shortest distance landing technique, which is flap 5 auto throttle off. The reason we go auto throttle off is because with the auto throttle on, you must add 5 knots to your VREF. With the auto throttle off, you can add 0. In real life, you'd also want auto brake medium or even high, but in this flight we'll do low because of I'm still on version 1.0.1, which has the bug where the nose slams down if the auto brakes are set to medium. I'll get the new version today, right after I make this video, and test it on auto brake medium to see how it reacts now. From the videos I've seen so far, it should completely solve this glitch. With the flight plan in secondary, activate secondary, and now we're going to load the departure 16 left on the Zion's 1, and the arrival would be the RNAV Zulu 20 right from J-Word on the Disney 6 arrival into John Wayne. The runway length is 5,700 feet. This means we must touch down before 1,900 feet down the runway. That's about the taxiway Juliet, which is the first taxiway after the 1,000 foot marker, plus another 2 centerline stripes. Once done setting all the perf tabs, we go to the transponder, set our squawk code as well as our flight ID. We'll set initial altitude of 11,000, and don't forget to put 240 knots in your climb tab for this specific airport, Salt Lake City, because that's their typical restriction on departure, 240 knots. It's usually quickly lifted by the departure or the center controller. We have before start checklist complete. We'll now do pushback checklist, and pushback checklist is complete. Turn on a beacon light, release the braking brake, and pushback begins. Starting the engine very straightforward. The engine on switch to on. And we got our takeoff numbers, so I'm gonna put that in. Flight plan fuel page first, then perf departure page. Hit toga, select VNAV, bug the runway heading, bug the V2, and set the trim. With the right engine started, turn on the PTU and set the takeoff flap setting. With the left engine started, APU will go as required, which is off, and the PTU will go back to auto, then do a flight control check. After start checklist is complete, get the nose wheel steering on. At some point in a taxi out, check your route page to make sure the first fix is correct, the altitudes are correct, and in this case you do not have nav selected. At this point I'm supposed to be on map page, but due to the frame rates, the performance of the computer, I will stay on the Synaptic pages. For the captain side. Getting closer to the runway, arm the auto throttle and complete your before takeoff checklist. Lining up on 16 right. We'll turn all lights on. Approaching 1,000 feet above the field. FMS speed is going to change to 205.
V1.
And slowly get the speed trim up there to have a smooth acceleration. Once we've been given normal speed, we can get rid of that 230 knots restriction in the perf departure tab. I always forget this one after takeoff checklist. It is complete. To turn the autopilot on, make sure your hand's not on the stick. If it is, we'll get an autopilot disconnect. towards autopilot. Passing through flight level 180, complete the climb checklist. And then to avoid nuisance engine fire warnings, we will complete a high altitude climb checklist, which is reaching flight level 350 and out of icing conditions, which is very unlikely at that altitude. It'll be below -40 today. Turn off the wing anti-ice. And don't forget to turn the wing anti-ice back to auto when you descend through flight level 350 to complete the high altitude descent checklist. Today doesn't really matter. We're descending into California in July, and the only clouds we're going to encounter is the marine layer, and the marine layer never has icing because by definition it forms because the air is so much warmer than the water surface below. But anyways, RNAV Zulu 20 right approach. RNP approach is super easy in this plane. Well, it's supposed to be easy, but I'm going to play the whole video of the approach so you can see the various glitches we hit along the way. But just hit approach button, VNAV, and then bug the bottom altitude, bug the final approach fix altitude. Once you hit VGP, then you can set the missed approach altitude. But in this flight, you'll see that various times we suddenly get a FD mode change on the approach, despite being on the approach path. This may be a database issue versus a synaptic issue, but regardless, monitor your approach path. Don't just, you can sit there and just relax, but monitor your approach path. So if that bug happens, just VFPA or VFLC it down to the path where it will catch the VPATH again. Complete the descent checklist, descending through 18,000 feet, and we're coming up on Big Bear Lake on our left. When you descend through 10,000 feet above the field, complete the approach checklist. Now say we've been cleared for the approach. Make sure your approach is connected. If it's not, because there could be a vector off of it, put the, in this case, J word on top of J word on the flight plan. Now hit approach, make sure VNAV is on, and bug, in our case, 1,400. Notice how it went to VFPA mode here. Just watch for moments like that. Here I will steepen it up to really meet the VPATH. A go around from a flap 5 landing is similar to a go around from a flap 4 landing. Instead of going flap 2 though, you go flap 4. So it'll be hit the toga button, Start pitching up. Call for flap 4. Once you hit positive rate, raise the landing gear and set your VGA, which is usually 1 knot above your approach speed. At 1,000 feet above the field, you can go flight level change, manual speed, and it's whatever you want. Maybe you don't want to go too fast, so maybe 180 knots. Leave it at flap 2. You'd like to come back right in the pattern. And then after go around checklist. And before the next approach, make sure you complete both the descent checklist and the approach checklist. Once again, VFPA with the FD mode change. Not sure why, but we will rejoin the path. Well, the reason why is because suddenly the VPATH that it drew deferred by more than 500 feet. You can see it went from right on the dot to full deflection.
2,500.
That's why
2,500.
It shouldn't do that.
2,500.
Before you put in flap 5, make sure you're below 170 knots. That could be pretty close to sometimes the final approach fixed speed. I have now turned off terrain map for better performance of the computer. If your auto throttle is on, you must bug no less than 5 knots plus your VREF. Even if you set it to +0 down there, it's only when you turn the auto throttle off can you really pilot monitoring in real life would bug the actual VREF speed.
Approaching minimums. Minimum 500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Alright, within the touchdown zone. I don't know why I still cannot get reversers. When I hit F2, it just brings forward thrust. Other aircraft do not have this issue, so it's something with the keybinds, I think. 80 knots. Having the brake temp pop up is very realistic. That being said, the brake temperature would be a lot better if I figured out how to use the reversers. After landing, get the timer started, turn on hydraulic pump 2B, turn off APU bleed, raise the flaps. Then complete the after landing checklist. Parking brake is on. I'll get the captain's DU1 back up because we don't have to worry about frame rates anymore. Very next flight I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the update and I'm going to try to fly a flight realistically with the terrain map on for takeoff and landing and for auto brake medium. Okay, shut down engines. Make sure the APU catches before you shut down the remaining engine. Beacon off, 2B's back to auto, APU bleed back to auto. Here's the replay from the window view. last time I see the nose drop. You see, even with auto brake low, it dropped pretty quickly. I was pulling full back like a soft field landing. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more A220 content, or I do other planes as well. Not just airliners, but looking at various scenery in general aviation.